What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Too Pop to Handle. I'm your host, Andrew Nucatola, your pop culture best friend. And as always, I hope you guys are having a fabulous week. Happy 2026. Happy first episode of the new year. There's like a lot riding on this podcast episode. You know, like it's the first one of the new year. It's kind of like setting the scene, setting the landscape for what Too Pop to Handle will be in the new year. And like, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling really, really good about it. But there is a lot riding on this. You know, we're setting the scene for what's to come in 2026, and I am ready to rock and roll. We have so much to chat about. I feel like we haven't done like a proper podcast episode it's been like 3 weeks. You know, we did the pop culture recap of 2025 last week, and then I took off the week before that for Christmas, and then the week before that was like the last true episode. So yeah, we're going on 3, almost 4 weeks of like not doing a true regular, just like standard Too Pop to Handle episode, and I am so ready to be back and yapping with you guys. We have so much to chat about. I am so excited to get into this Ashley Tisdale drama because like I did not think 2026 was going to start with Sharpay Evans and Lizzie McGuire having beef, but like alas, here we are. We will get into it in just a little bit. We have a lot to catch up on before that. Like I said, I was going to go do my best and see as many of like the Oscar, running movies that are currently in theaters or out, whatever. And I've seen a total of 1 while I was off from work. And you know what? That is 1 more than I saw last year. So we were going to celebrate that. I went and saw Marty Supreme a few weeks ago, like a week or 2 ago. And I personally loved it. I thought it was a really great movie. I thought the acting was great. I really like the cinematography of it. I'm seeing a lot of people online sharing their opinions, as we all do, as I'm literally doing right now. They're like, oh, it wasn't what I expected. I expected a ping pong movie, this, that, whatever. And part of me is just like, when you go into an A24 movie, I had the same synopsis, like idea when I went to go see Opus with Iowa Debris last year. When you go into a A24 movie, you have to go in like willing to go on a roller coaster of emotions, different plot lines coming in just to kind of like throw you off. Like that's kind of what A24 is known for. And like at this point, I just feel like we should all know that, So like anytime I personally go into an A24 movie, I'm like, okay, like nothing I can expect is going to happen in this movie. And like, that's the thrill of it. That's the fun of it. And I'm surprised at the way people are reacting to this movie. Of course, Marty Supreme is going to be a big topic of conversation as the weeks go on, as we are in award season. We'll chat about Critics' Choice in just a little bit. And like, we have the Golden Globes this weekend. And of course, the Oscars coming up. So Marty Supreme will definitely be a topic of convo just in the culture for the next few weeks. But I honestly enjoyed it. I thought all the acting was great. I thought it was a really like a fun and creative and unique kind of story. I know it is loosely based on true events. So I don't know how I'm assuming they went pretty far off the line of who, what it was actually based on. Like I'm sure some of it was dramatized as A24 does, but I thought it was great. My biggest takeaway, I was like, he didn't play with an orange ping pong ball once. And like, that was the whole marketing ploy of the movie. But you know what? Like, if that's my biggest like letdown of the movie, and like, obviously I'm like fucking with you guys and joking around, I don't know. I was happy with it. I thought it was great. I thought, spoiler alert, I thought his Critics' Choice Award win was very well deserved. And honestly, I would not be mad if I saw him take home an Oscar for this role because I think he's great. Like, I enjoy Timotheé Chalamet. I think he is so good at his craft. I think he really is like our generation's like big actor, if that makes sense. Like every generation has like a big one. There was like Leonardo DiCaprio, and there's like everyone has like that big actor in their generation. I feel like Timothée Chalamet is like in the running for ours, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm very into what he's doing with Marty Supreme. As much as I try to swear off the Kardashian Jenners, I love him and Kylie together. I was saying it on our last episode, like whenever that was, 3 or 4 weeks ago. I do really like them together, and like, we'll get into the speech and we'll chat about it and all that. But like, I don't know. I am buying what he is selling. Like I'm all in on the Timothy Express. And you know what? Like, I don't think it's a bad place to be. Before we get into the show, some other place that I don't mind being is in the reader space. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you might have seen, I decided one morning last week, I was like, I want to throw my phone into the ocean, very Lord Solar Power. I was like, I don't want to look at a screen all day today. So I picked up a book that one of my friends lent me. She gave me like a pile of books and was like, here, I think you'll like these, just start reading them if you want. And I picked up Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I could not put it down. And like, this is not like groundbreaking. I'm not suggesting a book that is like underground or indie. Like, this is a very popular book that has been out for, it came out in like 2022, maybe. It's like we're going on, 4 years of this book being out. I am not, discovering this book by all means, but it was the first time I read it, first time I read anything from Abby, and I was obsessed with this story. And like I posted on my Instagram story how much I loved it, and the amount of DMs that I got of people being like, no, this is my favorite author, one of my favorite book series. You need to read all of her books. I was like, all right, cool. I am in great hands in terms of like my friends who are giving me books to read, and I cannot wait to read her next book. I have, what is it actually sitting next to me? No, where is it? It's whatever the summer book is, After Last Summer or something. I don't know. I forget what it's called, but that is the next Abby book that I'm going to read. But I'm currently reading Thirst Trap, which I'm very excited for. I know they say not to judge a book by its cover, but when you have a cigarette in a high heel with an ankle bracelet wrapped around it and the cover is pink and glittery, like I am going to judge a book by its cover. And that is a book that I am in fact very interested in reading. I'm about like 50 pages in, so it's just like the beginning of it, but so far so good. I am enjoying it. But now I'm getting way off track. Basically, moral of the story is if you were looking for like a rom-com style book, read Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I promise you, you will love it. I could not put it down, and I cannot wait to read more of her books because I feel like she's going to be one of my authors that I'm just like obsessed with and fixated on, and I cannot wait to continue reading more of her books. But with all of that being said, now that we have caught up and, on each other's, we're caught up on what's been going on in each other's lives over the last week or so, let's get on with the show and dive into this week's episode because there is so much to catch up on. Kicking it off the way that we always do with our Drew releases, our new music releases from last week and our new releases coming up this week. And we are kicking off the year incredibly strong with already a ton of releases to talk about and a ton of releases to look forward to this week. They are like wasting no time with this year. So last week, I want to say it was on New Year's Eve, or maybe like the day before New Year's Eve, if you will, whatever day it was, Doechii randomly dropped a surprise single called Girl Get Up featuring SZA. And I mean, you guys know, I love me some Doechii. I love me some SZA. This is like a dream collab. Of course, they've collabed before in the past, but like, just like not in the retrospect where Doechii is now. So like getting the two powerhouses that they are on a song at the level they are right now, it's like they are so powerful together, and it's definitely signaling to like a new era for Doechii. I'm very excited. Just on the cover art alone, it is her braids cut off from the cover of Alligator Bites Never Heal, and it's just very much like signifying this whole new era. 2025 was a crazy year for Doechii. She really was just like on top of the world, and I'm so excited to see her kind of like continue to ride the wave. And in this song, it's kind of very similar to like Nosebleeds, where she's kind of just like talking her shit and like giving us like a peek into what's going on to her mind. She's basically saying like, the it girl is black and you don't know how to handle it. When it's a woman who is doing all of these record breaking and who is on top of the game and everyone wants to say, I'm an industry plant. Everybody wants to say like, oh, this person helped me. But like, then a rap man drops a song and you guys are like sucking his dick over it. Like she was kind of just like, very upfront and forward about like what's going on in her mind with the way that like the media and the public treats her. And I really think it was like a great way to just kind of like transition from a debut mixtape era into whatever is next for her. I love the song. Love hearing SZA on the song with her. SZA was such a big influence and like guidance with her between like SZA and Kendrick, kind of guiding her into like more of like a spotlight situation, They were really big mentors for her in the beginning of her career. And, she hopped on that remix for Doechii's song. And it was a surprise with that video of Doechii like sitting in her dressing room getting ready and they're playing her song. And then SZA comes in with her verse and she had no idea what was happening. It's the cutest video. So just seeing that Doechii and SZA are like still one, like working together, and she was just on tour with Kendrick. It's just nice to see that she's being like grandfathered into this rap world by some of the greats. I mean, there are some questionable people out there right now who would be considered greats, and I feel like those greats, there's a specific three that I think of who kind of were once the greats and are no longer. So I'm happy that she is mixed up with Kendrick and SZA and that crew and not a different side of once were rap greats. I'm sure you guys can pick up what I'm putting down there, but very exciting. And I'm just very excited to see what Doechii has in store for us for the rest of the year. The next release that we got last week was Cat's Eye. They dropped their song Internet Girl. Now, this song had been already like teased because they were performing it on tour, and like it was already kind of controversial because of the lyrics. Literally the chorus of it is like eat zucchini over and over and over. And like, I have mixed thoughts. Like, I am definitely not in the age demo for Cat's Eye. I definitely am. They're just, they skew a younger audience. I think they are incredible performers. I think their songs are so catchy, but like at their core, they're not making music for me. They're not making music for a 30-year-old gay man. And like, I can enjoy it and I do, but it's not targeted to me. They're definitely looking at more of like a Gen Z demographic, and like, that's fine. However, the lyrics are definitely a little questionable. But I'm not looking to Cat's Eye for like groundbreaking lyrical content. Like we've all heard Gnarly, like we've heard Touch. Like we know that their lyrics are very baseline, and it's more so about like the song. And I hate to use this word, but the vibe that they bring and the TikTok dance they can make. And like, yeah, they, could be a little more, what's the word? A little more advanced with their lyrics maybe, but I don't think they're like putting pen to paper when they are creating music. So I do think people are being a little critical of them online. What I will say is I think it's very weird that they replace, so on tour, this is how like deep into this I got, because I was very like, I seen so many hot takes about this song, because everybody has a hot take about everything these days. And people, so on tour when they performed it, there's like one part specifically where Megan, like I didn't even know the girls' names, and now I'm like familiar with their names more. But Megan would say lines in the song, and it was like her part of the song. Now that it's released in the studio version, they have replaced her lines with a baby voice. That I think is very weird and like very confusing as to why they would A, take away her, and B, replace it with a baby voice. Like there's 5 other girls in the group. Why not give that part to one of the band members and not replace it with a baby voice? Just very strange. I feel like it's definitely lots of convos online about it, but at its core, it's catchy. I'm not going to be like listening to it regularly, but like I think it's like serving the purpose that Cat's Eye is meant to do, and it's to make catchy Gen Z TikTok songs. So I think everybody needs to just like take a deep breath and relax and like let pop music be fun. We're not looking to Cat's Eye to be the William Shakespeare of the pop music world. Like we are looking to them to make a good song that we could like learn a TikTok dance to and like have fun with it. So I think for 2026, everybody needs to like learn how to have fun again. And I think everyone needs to just like let go, let loose, and just like enjoy a fucking pop song at its core. And like, I'll even shoot myself in the foot because I had so much to say about Life of a Showgirl by Taylor Swift. And now I'm still, yeah, here we go with this album. But like, I enjoy the album. Was it what I expected? No, but like, once I got over that, I was like, okay, no, like this is fun pop music. And like I said it on my album breakdown episode with Delaney, I was like, this is definitely not the album I was expecting, nor is it like music that I'm going to be listening to often, I don't think. But like at its core, like this is fun pop music. And like we need to just like welcome that in more. And I feel like we all need to just like accept music for what it is and like just have fun with it. I saw a TikTok recently and it was the beat to Clumsy, I believe it was, like the karaoke basically version of Clumsy. And they were like, how did Fergie write on top of this? And like it makes me think back to like 2006, 2008, like getting these songs that had these like crazy tracks on them, even like thinking of like Run the World by Beyonce, like that's such a crazy track, but like they were just having fun with these experimental sounds and just like letting music be fun. And I feel like we're getting to an era where like pop music is fun again and not so serious. And I think we all need that in the world right now. Like there's a lot going on, recession pop, if you will. Like we need to just accept it and let it be and not question it, because at that point, what's the point of enjoying music if we can't just like let it be what it is and consume it for the music itself? So that is my way too long analysis of Internet Girl by Cat's Eye. Again, I'm not the target demo. I am very into what they're doing. I think they really are serving a purpose in the world of like music and K-pop. I know they kind of fall into that category. I don't know how necessarily, but regardless, whatever. But yes, excited to see how Cat's Eye continues to just like dominate the internet this year, because they seriously like took over last year. And I just feel like they're going to be on a continuous up and up. And I'm very excited for that. And moving on to our next release, speaking of fun pop music, Robyn dropped 2 surprise songs today. And not only did she drop 2 singles, she also gave us the release date and title for her upcoming album. So she'll be releasing her new album, Sex Essential on March 27th. Now, if you don't follow me on Substack or on the internet anywhere, I posted my top 10 most anticipated albums of 2026, and Robyn's album was on there. Now we have a date, now we have a title, and I am so excited. You guys know I loved Dopamine. It was one of my favorite songs of 2025, and I am so excited for this album. And these two new tracks are so good. You guys know one of my favorite genres of music is music that makes me want to have a tequila soda in my hand on the dance floor at 2 a.m. That is what Robyn is giving to us. And not only is she making like incredible just like dance floor music, our girl is horny. Like listening to these songs, I was like, oh my God, Robyn, like she is going for it. And honestly, I am all about it. We are very sex positive here at Too Pop to Handle. So I am loving everything Robyn is selling. And I am so excited for this new era and this new album. I'm so upset. I was like, I should have went to go see her last week. She was in New York and she was playing on New Year's Eve. And I was like, I don't want to be at a concert on New Year's Eve. It's my favorite day of the year. Like I want to be out partying and like having fun, and partying and having fun. I did. But I was like, she announced another show for like January 2nd, and I was so close to buying a ticket and I didn't. And I know I'm going to regret not going to that for a very long time. However, whenever we get the Sex Essential tour, I will be there because I already know I'm going to love this album. We don't have that long to wait for it, only like 2 months and change. So it'll be here before we know it. I am very excited. And that wraps up our Drew releases. Very exciting. We have a lot of music to chat about this week, and I wasn't expecting to have so much to like dive into on the first episode of the year, but you know what? I will take it. It's going to be a fabulous year for music, and I, for one, cannot wait. And before we get into our moments from the week that were just too pop to handle, I always like to take this time to remind you guys that if at any point during this episode you are loving what you were hearing, go ahead and leave me a 5-star rating. It is the best way to help support the show, and I would seriously appreciate it so much. But of course, I need to give you a show to find out if you love it or not. So let's get the show on the road and kick things off with our pop culture rapid fire, some moments from the week that were just too pop to handle. And now this first one's kind of just like a blanket moment, because even though the show is over, heated rivalry is not slowing down. And you know what? I am so thankful for it. We have had such a whirlwind with these boys, with this show. It is truly like we are watching a phenomenon happen in front of our eyes with Connor Storrie and Hudson Williams, and I am so here for it. I don't even know like where to begin. I guess the last time we spoke, we had, I think, 2 episodes left. I don't even think we knew that they were going to the cottage the last time that we spoke, which is so insane because I feel like I have lived 17 lives since Shane and Ilya went to the cottage. Like I am truly, there is life before the cottage and life after the cottage, and like so much has happened since then. And like, I mean, that finale, it was just so beautifully done. Like watching Shane's parents fully just accept their son and his sexuality and his partner right there at the table with him, and like fully just like embracing it. I mean, of course they had to adjust and like understand what was going on, but like that scene with Shane and his mom outside when she's just like, no, don't be sorry. I'm sorry you didn't feel like you could come to me. It was just like a beautiful depiction of a gay experience. And like usually on a gay TV show or a movie, it ends in a tragedy. You know, they have to split up or their parents disown them or something tragic happens. So to have a gay love story where the characters are literally driving away into the sunset at the end of season 1, and like there's so much optimism, so it seems, ahead of them. It's just so nice and such a fabulous and rewarding thing to see, you know, I'm not an elder by all means, but like as somebody who my generation, like we came out, you know, like we were telling it was like a big deal to like tell your parents, oh, hey, I am gay and like whatever. Like nowadays, like kids don't really have to come out, which I can't believe I just said the word nowadays, kids don't have to, like, and then filled in the blank. Like that just aged me 15 years. I just felt my hair get grayer than it already is. But nowadays, like kids don't necessarily have to come out, and that's a great thing. But like watching a TV show in current day and seeing 2 gay characters like coming out to their parents, and like, you know, it was such like a thing you had, or quote unquote had to do back in the day, it felt like, and just seeing like the positive reaction that they get from Shane's parents, and like the way they're so welcoming to Ilya and immediately make them a plate of food, and like it's just such a heartwarming message that they're sending to so many gay people, young, old. I know Hudson, who plays Shane, was on, I believe it was Andy Cohen's radio show today, and he was saying, I've gotten a lot of DMs from sport athletes who are in the closet and like watch the show and now feel seen by the show, and like it just gives a whole new demographic this like what's the word? It's like this representation that was kind of missing in media, and like whether you want to like take the athlete of it out and just like see 2 like more, I hate to, you know, say like they're more like straight passing. Like they are very masculine, you know, they aren't the typical, and again, this is so stereotypical and like I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot for saying all this, but like the way that gay men are depicted on TV is they're the GBF, they're the gay best friend, they're painting their nails, they want to go shopping, you know, they're frilly and they're quote unquote girly as a textbook definition. So to see a story where the two characters are so like cis hetero male passing and they are, you know, being accepted by their family and they are in this huge national hockey league. Like it's just like a very exciting time for queer media. And I'm just very happy that we have a show like this in my lifetime and in so many lifetimes to live, to like exist in the media space, if that makes sense. But take everything out of the show and just what's going on in the real world, not with Shane and Ilya, but with Connor and Hudson. This is crazy. Like we have not seen fandemonium like this in years. Like we are seeing One Direction, Justin Bieber, Jonas Brother, Miley Cyrus, Beatlemania level fandemonium over these two boys. And it is crazy, especially for a TV show. I feel like typically when we get fandemonium like this and craze and phenomenons, it's with like a pop star, you know, it's music centered. It's more so with that. Seeing two actors get this response from the media, from fans, from the internet, it is wild. And before I started recording, I was talking to my boyfriend Thomas and I was like, it is crazy the way like Hudson had an appearance at Jimmy Fallon. He has his like late night debut tonight. And he was going to record it today at 30 Rock, and seeing the crowds outside of 30 Rock and cranking out. Connor was announcing the Actor Awards, which if you didn't know, the SAG Awards are now called the Actor Awards. He was announcing the SAG Award nominees today with Janelle James. I'm like, he literally said himself 8 months ago, I was waiting tables and now I'm announcing the Actor Award nominees. Like it is just such a crazy projection for their career. And like, it's just like, we are really witnessing something wild in real time. As far as just like updates on the show, we know that now they have both signed on for a season 3. So season 2 got signed pretty much immediately after the craze went on. Like we saw a very fast turnaround for that. But since then, we have now seen season 3 get signed off on. So we have quite some time with these boys. And honestly, I will take all the time I can get with either Shane and Ilya, Connor and Hudson. I don't care what it is. They're selling. I am buying. We also found out that Jacob Tierney, the creator of the show, wanted Carly Rae Jepsen to write a song for season 1, and she didn't do it, or they couldn't make it happen, whatever. But then she just followed Heated Rivalry the other day on Instagram, and like, I can't think of a gayer sentence than Carly Rae Jepsen writing a song for Heated Rivalry. Like that is literally probably the gayest thing I will ever say. And like, if it comes to fruition, ooh, bitch, we need it. We need a Carly Rae Jepsen song in Heated Rivalry so bad. And I feel like we are very close to getting it. And I cannot wait. And also just thinking of how like impactful the soundtrack is to this show, the fact that like we might be getting people writing original music for it is going to be massive. Like that's going to be huge. And I cannot wait to see. I also saw that like Miley Cyrus wants to write for the show, but the director said like, we don't have Miley Cyrus budget. Like we can't do that. It's just so crazy, like watching in real time the way they're not even like rising to stardom. Like they are going on A-list celebrity. Like they are top tier. Everybody wants to work with them. Everybody is working with them. They're presenting at the Golden Globes this weekend. Like it is crazy the magnitude in which these two boys who, and I say this with love, but they were nobodies a few months ago. Like they were not in Hollywood in the sense that they are now, even a little bit. They were no-name actors. And again, this sounds harsh, but like it's a true reality. I think they had like 2,000 followers on Instagram and now they're both pushing millions of followers in just a few weeks. It is wild seeing the way that the culture just like fully embracing Heated Rivalry and knowing that it is a gay show. It warms my little gay heart so much. And I know so many other people. I'm not again, similar to Abby Jimenez, like I'm not discovering this, you know, I'm not telling you guys something brand new information, but it's just like, it is so wild the way that the show is infiltrating culture. And like, I returned to office this week and we're in 5 days a week. So I'm like meeting new coworkers, whatever. And like, we're all just kind of like getting situated in this 5-day work week. And And literally every single day this week, I have heard at least 3 conversations on my floor of people just talking about whether it's the show, the actors. Like, this is very much like leaving the internet and the digital space and like infiltrating real life conversations and real life things. So, you know, with media, sometimes it doesn't really cross into fully like day-to-day conversation and topics, but like I am firsthand hearing people talking about this multiple times a day at work. And like, yeah, maybe sometimes I am the one bringing up Connor Storrie or Hudson Williams. And you know what? Like, I don't have any shame in that. I am happy to be the one to start the conversations about these boys. But like, there are multiple people a day at my job talking about it. So I can't even imagine like just like across the globe. And I know it's getting like released in the UK soon. It's getting released in Brazil soon. So like this show is not even like worldwide yet. And the level of fame in which these men are already at is so astronomical. So like the fact that it's just going to continue to grow is insane. And I just like, I need them to just like announce their next project. I need to know what they're doing next in terms of like acting and things like that. But I also am like, I hope they like take a minute and breathe and like enjoy this and not just like get burnt out from all of this. Cause like even seeing Hudson like walk into 30 Rock today and the way that people were like going insane, the security guard outside of NBC literally said, I haven't seen people act this way since Harry Styles was on Fallon. And like, that is a huge statement. Like we are seeing superstars in the making. This is giving like early 2000s fandemonium with the way that people are reacting to these boys. And you know what? I am right there with you, but just felt wrong not to like kind of close the loop on Heated Rivalry as a series. And like, they pretty much are pop culture right now. Like there is no pop culture conversation of 2026 that is not involving the two of them. So just felt wrong not to like close that loop and just like let you guys know, like the fire isn't burning out anytime soon. Like I am still very much logged into the Heated Rivalry group chat with the entire world. And I just want more. I cannot wait to watch Hudson on Fallon tonight. I'm probably going to watch it while I edit this episode. And I just know he is going to give like the sassiest, the dirtiest, the sauciest little responses. Ooh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And then Connor is going to be on, I think it's Seth Meyers next week. I'm pretty sure. So they're just like, they're making the rounds. They are doing the circuit. And I am so happy for our 2 little homosexual hockey players. Moving on to the next moment of the week, there were just 2 pop to handle. Award season is here and we are in full swing. It's kind of crazy the way like the entertainment industry kind of goes on a break all of December. Like there's really not much going on in the entertainment world. And then we just come back full swinging the first week of the year with the Critics' Choice, then the Golden Globes, then we get the Grammys, then the Oscars. Like we really come in swinging at the first like week or 2 of the year after a month-long break. Like no wonder we're all so anxious and like burnt out. It's because we go from like one extreme to another. But you know what? Wouldn't want it any other way, to be honest. But that being said, award season is here and the Critics' Choice Awards were last Sunday. And it was a fabulous show, honestly. Like it was a really well done night, I will say. I shared some stuff on Instagram and TikTok about like my thoughts of the show and my favorite moments of it. So we're going to do a quick run through, nothing too crazy. I feel like Critics' Choice is one that we can kind of, you know, let it be just like a quick rapid fire. But like Golden Globes, Oscars, Grammys, of course, they'll get their full dedicated episode. But just running through some quick stuff from the Critics' Choice Awards. I cannot get enough of Meg Stalter and Paul W. Downs dress up as Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner. I posted about it on every social media platform possible because I'm so obsessed with it. It's so genius. Not only was it so smart and like just shows how quick thinking these people are, they just like, they committed to the bit so well, which like that is what Meg Stalter does. But like seeing Paul W. Downs just like jump in and fully commit to the bit with her, it was incredible. I am obsessed and like, I love the fact that like they just play into these like characters on every carpet and just like fully go for it. It is so fun. And it's what we need in the world. We need like people who just like don't take things so seriously and just like completely roll with it. Meg Stalter, Paul W. Downs, you guys, you fully won the Critics' Choice Awards without even the award show starting. They stepped on the carpet and it was done. I was like, everybody can go home. The 2 of them were incredible. I cannot get enough. The other moment on the carpet that's getting some positive and negative feedback was Ariana Grande and Leighton Meester. Ariana was like seen turning around and seeing Leighton. She was like, I love you so much. Wow, wow, wow. And then kept walking. And then it pans to Leighton in the video and she goes, wow, wow, wow. And like, it sounds as if she's mocking her. However, I don't know if I think she is mocking her. I think she was just like reiterating to who she was with what she said. Like it almost, to me, the inflection in her voice, it was like, someone was like, what did she say? And she said it back to her. Other people are reading into it saying she was mocking her. I don't think so. I think this was a very sweet moment between the two of them. And like, I don't see Leighton Meester necessarily as a mean girl, especially knowing like the set of Gossip Girl, how that all went. Like she was definitely not the mean girl on set, but as people do, they blow things out of proportion and always assume the worst in people. But I thought it was a very sweet moment between the two of them. I don't know. I love seeing the two of them together. And I mean, I love Gossip Girl. I love Leighton Meester. So knowing that Ariana is just like me and is like obsessed with Gossip Girl, Leighton Meester, and like everything else she does, it made me feel very seen. So I am going to at least tell myself that it was not a negative interaction. And I think it was just, you know, two divas appreciating each other on the carpet. And like, let's leave it at that. Diving into the show, Chelsea Handler hosted. Once again, just reminds us that we need women to host every single award show. She was phenomenal, as she always is. The Nicki Minaj joke, crushed it. I thought it was hilarious and so timely. Like that's what's always so nice about these award shows, especially when it's women. Like they just they go for it and they're so on it. Like they pay attention to what's happening in culture. They pay attention to what's happening in the media. And like they really, I feel like they go for it a little bit more than men usually do. And I feel like Chelsea Handler just crushed it. Like I said, the Nicki Minaj joke was fantastic. The whole Timotheé bit with like whoever has the ping pong paddle under their chair gets to slap him on the butt with it, which is like a bit from the movie. And then Kathy Bates, who's getting a lot of award season buzz right now, has it under her chair, and they had the little moment where she licks it. Just like very fun. And I love the way that like these hosts are just like including the audience and they make it fun, they make it silly. She made the joke about Leonardo DiCaprio and he actually seemed like he took it well. Like he seemed like a good sport about it, which we love to see. You know, men can sometimes have a big ego. I mean, Chris Rock, Will Smith, you know, people they get their ego bruised very easily in those rooms. So it just feels nice like when everybody can laugh at a joke and like no one takes themselves too seriously. And that's kind of the vibe that I got the entire night. It just seemed like good vibes all around in the Critics' Choice Awards. As far as awards for the night, because that is of course what we are here for, I'm very sad to report that Wicked got 0. There was nothing for anybody for anything at the Critics' Choice this year. So very sad to see that Wicked went away empty-handed early in award season. I hope that it's not the case going forward, but you know, we will have to wait and see what happens there. Sinners took home 4 awards, tying with Frankenstein for the most wins of the night. They got Best Original Screenplay for Ryan Coogler, Best Young Actor for Miles Caton, Best Score for Ludwig Göransson. I'm so sorry if I just butchered that. And Best Casting goes to Francine Maisler. I loved Sinner so much. You guys know it's my favorite movie of last year, so I want it to win every single award. Some people are having these conversations saying that like Sinners is getting robbed, but then we see the Critics' Choice. They got 4 awards and they're tied for the most wins with Frankenstein. So I don't know where this like Sinners is getting robbed conversation is happening, but I love it just as much as everybody else is saying it's robbed, but I don't think it's getting robbed. Like I think that is a bit of a stretch to say that, but of course we're only one award show in, so we'll have to see how it goes for the rest of them. But I do think it is a very weird conversation to have saying that Sinners is getting robbed when it's tying for the most wins at the first award show of the season. But again, we will have to wait and see. I'm just kind of running through some of the bigger categories from the night. Best Song went to Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters. And if you remember when Grammy nominations came out, I was saying like there is a world where Golden by K-Pop Demon Hunters does sweep award season this year. I mean, the song was breaking records. It is huge. It is everywhere. It's still not dying down. Like the numbers in which K-Pop Demon Hunters is pulling for Netflix is actually insane. So there is a world where we see a K-Pop Demon Hunter sweep this year, and like we kind of just have to accept it. I mean, the song is everywhere. It's catchy as hell. People I have not seen that yet, but I know it's on streaming, so I'm going to try to watch it. Maybe I'll watch it sometime this week before the Golden Globes this weekend. If not this weekend, I'll definitely watch it before the Oscars because I feel like it's going to be a big contender. Everybody's saying it's going to win Best Picture, so I definitely want to see that. And since it's on streaming, I truly have no reason not to watch it, so I definitely am going to try and watch that soon. Best Supporting Actor definitely took a lot of people by surprise. It was for Jacob Elordi in Frankenstein. I don't know about you guys, but like I'm very into Jacob Elordi's porn stash. I think it's like very hot. And I'm into it. So there's, there's been some controversial opinions on it online, some hot takes as the world has, but I'm into it. I think it's kind of hot. But yeah, he won for Frankenstein. Very exciting. I have not seen it. I apologize. I am behind on my movies for the year, but it was a very surprising moment. Like everybody was not expecting Jacob to take it, but you know what? We love an unexpected win. Like good for you, Jacob. Soak it up. For Best Supporting Actor, we had Amy Madigan, who just took the internet by storm with her role in Weapon. So I'm not that surprised by this. I don't know what to expect in terms of like weapons in this year's Academy, award season, excuse me. I'm not sure if it's going to like get a lot of wins, if it's going to sweep, but I know Amy Madigan had like a huge year for Aunt Gladys, the role that she played there. So I'm not surprised to see her winning something, but I'm curious to see if she's going to continue to sweep and like be the leading supporting actress for the year. Best Actress went to Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. She had the cutest moment on stage with Paul Mescal, and just you can tell that the two of them had a lot of fun filming this movie, or at least had a lot of like they just got very close on set, it seems. I've heard wonderful things about Hamnet. I definitely want to go see that. And then Best Actor went to Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme, which I could not agree more with. I loved the movie. Like, I know people are having mixed opinions on it, but the critics spoke and they loved it, and so did I. And I mean, yes, of course, the big moment here is the fact that he won the Critics' Choice, his first time ever winning the award. And, it kind of sets him up for like this Oscar buzz. Is it his year? Is he going to do it? Who knows? But the two big moments from Timothée Chalamet winning this award is number one, him saying, "I love you" to Kylie Jenner on stage. And number two, does anybody have eyes on Club Chalamet after he said, "I love you" to Kylie Jenner on stage? Because like, I know that woman lost her mind when he was professing his love for Kylie up on stage. Like I said, I try really not to subscribe to the Kar Jenners anymore. I'm just like very much over them, and like a part of culture I take out of my mind. But like, I gotta give it to Timothée and Kylie. I'm like really into them. I think they're like a really fun couple. And like watching him on stage give his speech, you could tell how excited he was. And just like his little shout out to Kylie was really cute. And I'm excited to watch him for the rest of award season. I'm also gonna call it now. I think him and Kylie are gonna make their Met Gala debut in May. I do. I think they're going to do it. He was like hinting at doing some other matching outfits for the rest of the year. So I'm sure maybe an award show, maybe like the Oscars or something, they'll do something. But I think they're gonna make their Met Gala debut this year. I really do. I feel it in my bones. And that is our abridged, quick version of the Critics' Choice Awards. Of course, there were some other fun moments throughout the night, but that's kind of like the TLDR, just a quick rapid fire moment. And I'm very excited for the Golden Globe this weekend. You guys know I loved Nikki Glaser last year hosting, and I cannot wait to see how she crushes it this year. Very exciting there. Moving on to the next moment of the week that was too pop to handle. It's the greatest time of the year. Gov Ball Lineup has come out, and I am so excited for this lineup. So for the headliners, we have Lorde, Baby Keem, Stray Kids, Kelly Uchis, A$AP Rocky, and Jenny. I mean, first things first, the obvious, Lorde being on this list. You guys know I will be there without a doubt. I'll take any opportunity to see Lorde. The first time I actually ever saw her was at Gov Ball in 2017, and it was like truly a life-altering performance. Like I left that and I was like, I called one of my best friends, Casey, and I was like, hey, I need to get the word melodrama tattooed on me. And a week later, I got a tattoo on my ankle before the album came out. Like that night was a true like shift in my brain. Like I know that sounds dramatic, but it really was like a mind altering moment. And I am so excited to see Lorde just in general, but also just like back at Gov Ball. I love Gov Ball. You guys know that if you've listened for a while, I usually go every single year, and very excited for this. In terms of other people performing on the lineup, we have Flower of Love, who I've been chatting about a lot with you guys. So excited to see her this year. Slater, who I cannot get enough of. Hemlock Springs, who I love. My girl, my queen, Rachel Chinariri. We also have Cat's-Eye performing, which is very exciting. The Dare, To Hollis, Audrey Hobart, Dominic Fike. Just a lot of like fun performers. People have a lot of opinions on the lineup, as they always do. And to that I say, if you don't like it, don't go. Like if you aren't into the lineup, don't buy a ticket. Don't share a think piece. Like, yeah, it's not the best lineup I've ever seen in the world, but like there are some really fun and great performers. And the point of a festival is to like go, and also you're supposed to like go and see the artists that you love, but also discover new artists and like find new people. And like, I think that's the beauty of a festival like this. Like, go see your fave, go see the artists that you know, if you're a big K-pop person, go to see Stray Kids, go to see Jenny, but then like also stop by and like check out To Hollis, check out The Dare, check out Slater. Like you might find a new artist that you love. And I just feel like people don't people don't take advantage of festivals enough in that sense. You know, they kind of just like are like, oh, my favorite's not performing, I'm not going. And it's like, just like have fun or shut up and don't buy a ticket. Like it's not that hard. But if you are interested in buying tickets, pre-sale is this week. And the festival is June 5th through 7th at Flushing Meadows Park in New York. So I will absolutely be there. If not all 3 days, definitely Friday, definitely trying to go for Sunday, but I'll probably end up at all 3 days. So yeah, cannot wait for that. And that actually wraps up our pop culture rapid fire and brings us into our main topic of the show, which I am dying to chat with you guys about, like truly bursting at the seams, ready to chat with you guys about this. This whole Ashley Tisdale drama, I am obsessed. Like this is crazy. And now the fact that my entire brain is being taken up by Ashley Tisdale and Hilary Duff in the year 2026, it feels like it is 2007 again. And I am like getting ready for High School Musical 2. I'm listening to With Love by Hilary Duff on my CD player. Like I feel like I am a middle school boy again, obsessed with these two women, but just in a whole different way. And as much as it hurts that like we're putting these two against each other, I cannot get enough of this story. So let me bring you guys up to speed if you don't know what's happening. So basically on Sunday, I believe it was, an article with The Cut came out that Ashley Tisdale wrote. And she was basically talking all about this toxic mom group that she was in, how it was like high school and how it was just like drama and all this stuff, whatever. And people quickly came to the assumption that she was talking about the mom group that she was in that included Hilary Duff, Mandy Moore, Meghan Trainor, and then a bunch of other just like rich LA moms, some business women, entrepreneurs, some content creators, just like they had like this mom group they were like raising their kids with, which you need as a mom. Like you need to have a support system of other moms to like lean on and like ask questions and just like go through the waves of having a child together. So they had this little group and they were always posting together. And then people, I guess over the last few years or so, like the last year or two, they kind of stopped being a group from what you could tell on social media, because they were always posting together. They were like having like tummy time together, right? Like they were like doing music class with other kids together. It was very cute and very wholesome. And then the group kind of like dismantled, which happens over time. You know, there's not always drama involved, but she writes this article, puts it out, and people immediately like link that friend group to this article. And everyone's like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? And once these outlets are picking that up and they're reporting it's about Hilary Duff and Mandy Moore and Meghan Trainor, Ashley's team comes out and releases a statement saying that the mom group that she is talking about is not the one that includes Hilary, Mandy, or Meghan. And like, please exclude them from the narrative. That is not who Ashley is talking about. So it like seems like they're like cleaning up the mess and like, you know, they'll be fine there. But it just kind of like still feels weird because while all this is happening, Ashley unfollowed Hilary Duff and Mandy Moore on Instagram. So it's like, if they're not part of the problem, why aren't you associating with them anymore? So very weird in that sense. And then that was yesterday, the day before. And then last night, Hilary Duff's husband, Matthew Coma, got on Instagram and posted a story. And it was basically like he was sitting the same exact way Ashley Tisdale was in her Cut article. And he even like photoshopped the Cut logo onto the photo and said, read my Cut article. And it said like a dramatic mom group through the lens of a father. And the tagline said, maybe if you stop being so self-centered, the other moms wouldn't have to focus on their toddlers or something like that. It was like basically insinuating that like somebody in the group was very self-centered and the moms were all now focusing on their kids because at its core, it is a mom group and that is their toddlers are what is more important than, you know, the drama they're putting up with. Basically, completely erasing whatever Ashley's team just put out and confirming like, hey, you were talking about my wife and her friend and like you were the problem. And then today, Ashley Tisdale's husband posted on Instagram, I have it pulled up right here, and it said, he shared like a graphic to his story and it said, underrated life skill, pausing to decide if it's worth your energy, which to me is kind of like him saying like, is it worth responding to this? Should I get involved? Should I not? And like, he's like taking the high road and like pausing before he responds, which like, yeah, sure, maybe the mature thing to do, but like, easy to say that when like your wife's the one in hot water and like you're just trying to act like you guys aren't the villain in the story. And I mean, this is Real Housewife level drama. Like this is the Real Housewives of Disney Channel. This is crazy. And so now people, of course, are like investigating and diving in more, and they're finding all these old things about like when the LA wildfires were going on, Hilary Duff welcomed Mandy Moore into her home and like let her and her family come in while their home was under the fires, and like, or I don't know if their house was destroyed or not, but they were just like had in an evacuation zone, I guess. But at the same time, Ashley Tisdale was sharing kind of like insensitive things about the fires. I think it was something along the lines of like, oh, you know, people are losing their homes, but at least they're not dying or something like that. Just like to the point of it's like, yeah, but it still is like people are losing their homes and everything they have. It was just a very insensitive thing that Ashley Tisdale had posted, which kind of people were assuming like that was kind of putting a bad taste in their mouth and things like that. And then last year, Ashley Tisdale did post something about Charlie Kirk, and like she did state like, hey, like I am aligned with like women's rights and queer rights and whatever, but like it is sad to watch somebody die. But like that is also like what the worst person you went to high school with was also sharing to their Instagram story. They're like, I don't agree with his views, but like it's da-da-da. It's like, no, like standing up for Charlie Kirk is like not something you need to do if you don't support what he believes in, you know, like, and I'm not going to get political in that sense, but there were some assumptions that there was like a political divide between Ashley and the rest of the group, and just like a whole bunch of fingers being pointed online basically right now. Also, Duff, Hilary's sister, liked the Cut article. She has since unliked it, I'm pretty sure, because I don't see it live when I go look at it, but there's screenshots of it. And I know Haley and Hilary are not in the best relationship right now. Like they don't really speak to my knowledge, and I was reading online that they haven't been seen together in years. But Ashley is closer with Haley apparently. I don't know. Again, this is all like, I don't know these people. I don't know what's going on really, but like, God, am I tapped in? Like I said, this is like Real Housewives level drama with the cameras down. Like pick up the cameras and like let's get a show going, because this is juicy and I cannot get enough of it. And it's just like it's honestly like kind of wild that like we are in the year 2026 and we're seeing like two people who really like shaped our childhood as far as like people my age. Like Hilary Duff, Lizzie McGuire was a huge part of all of people my age childhood. High School Musical was a massive part of our like teen years. So like seeing these two people who were like huge pillars in the world in which we grew up in, like it's so wild that like they're not like directly beefing. There haven't been any words exchanged between the two of them, but like these just like side things happening. I'm like, holy fuck, this is kind of crazy. And now trust me, I don't want to come on here and like bash Ashley Tisdale. Like that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not saying she's a terrible person. I don't know her. And High School Musical was like my entire world growing up. Like I was obsessed with High School Musical to a point that was like unhealthy when I was growing up. And like, that's just kind of like the culture that I was grown up in. So like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, fuck Ashley Tisdale, da-da-da, because like she will always be Sharpay Evans to me. I'm sorry. Like she is like, there is no if, ands, or buts about that. And let us not forget her incredible career as a pop star. I mean, he said, she said, headstrong. Like she had some bangers on those albums. But what I will say is like, when you look at the headlines around Ashley Tisdale over the last year, it is her kind of always like butting into a conversation where she's not welcome, or just like sharing an opinion that like no one really asks for. And like, I was talking to my friend Jocelyn, who I always talk about on the show, and she was like, yeah, remember like a few months ago when she shared her thoughts on GLP-1s? And I was like, yeah, it was really weird. Like there was no reason for her to enter the GLP-1 conversation. And anybody can come on here and argue like, I don't need to be entering a pop music conversation because I'm not a pop star. And like, I totally understand that is valid. But it just seems like Ashley Tisdale was always like, it has in a year or so has been like trying to make a statement and like really like, you know, pack a punch and like make something big. Even like last month or the month before, she posted that like 7-minute long video and she was like, I've decided I want to go by Ashley French because that's how I identify. And like, I don't want to be tied to Ashley Tisdale anymore and all of that. And to me, it's like, yeah, that's fine. Like you're allowed to exist as this person, but do it when you get married. And she's been married for 12 years. They got married in 2014. So like, if you have existed as Ashley Tisdale while you've been married for the last 12 years, and then you want to come out and be like, I don't want to be known as Ashley Tisdale anymore. I want to like be my own. It's like, that's not how it works. Like you fully were existing as Ashley Tisdale, and like she doesn't really dive into the nostalgia of it all. I will give her that. She's not like a Christy Carlson Romano, who we'll talk about in a little bit later. If you know the show, you know where she's coming into this episode. But like, she's not like a Christy Carlson Romano and Annalise Vanderpool, who like fully just like inserts themselves in conversations. But she's not like them, where they're like fully just like diving into the Disney Channel nostalgia and trauma all the time. Like she does do a good job, I feel like, of separating herself. And now she's in this new era of her life. But it just does feel like sometimes she's saying things just to say things, even this article is like, where did this come from? It's like, yeah, you wanted to like create a space to like, if you're in a toxic mom group, you can leave just like I did. But it's like, well, did you leave or did you get kicked out of the mom group? Because those are two very different things. And like, whichever way you spin it, it's still, the facts are the facts. And what it seems to be is that you were kicked out of the group self from you and not vice versa. So like, you don't get to write this article like you're this big girl boss who like left the toxic mom group, when it seems as though you were kind of like, you were the one who was pushed out of the group and all the rest of the group exists. Like Hilary and Mandy Moore are still very close, and it seems like the rest of the women and them all still are in contact and still chat. And like, you're the one who's been excommunicated. So like, jury rules that like, clearly when it's one person, like, you're probably the problem. And again, I'm not coming on here to like hate Ashley Tisdale, because again, I will always love Sharpay Evans. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that, but it's just a very interesting conversation happening online. And like the fact that like Ashley's team was so quick to release that statement, like I don't think they thought people would tie it together so fast. And I think they kind of, I feel like they almost probably thought that like people, when she released that article, people would just like be like, oh my God, Ashley Tisdale, she's like, you know, releasing this article, whatever. And like, maybe they didn't think people would investigate, which is like stupid on them, because like as all the internet does these days, it's play FBI agent. But the fact that they released a statement so quick and like they were so quick to name Hilary Duff, Mandy Moore, and Meghan Trainor just goes to show like they were so tapped into the conversation happening online that like they knew exactly what was happening online fast enough to write this release, get it out, and like try to clean up their mess. And like clearly the Hilary Duff camp is not letting that happen. And you know what? Fine by me. I will sop up all of this. I am soaking it up like a sponge. I think it is so fascinating. And on the other hand, I will say it's kind of sad, because like when you think about it, like this is supposed to be a huge year for both Ashley Tisdale and Hilary Duff. High School Musical turns 20 in 13 days. Literally, like, High School Musical is hitting its 20th anniversary this month. And like, this is how Ashley Tisdale is going into the 20th anniversary month of the biggest project she has ever been a part of. And like, I think to date, the biggest decom that has ever come out. Like, this is how you're starting the year of your 20th anniversary of like the project that put you on the map. It just seems like a really interesting way to shoot yourself in the foot. And then on the other hand, like, Hilary Duff is making her comeback to music next month, and she has all of her shows coming up this month, which I'm very excited to let you guys know I have secured a ticket to see Hilary Duff this month, and I am probably going to die at the Brooklyn Paramount. So like, if you don't hear from me after January 27th, that is why. But I am very excited to go to the show and tell you guys all about it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. But like I said, Hilary has all these shows coming up. She is releasing an album next month. And it's like, this is supposed to be an exciting time for all of these people. And like, it's clearly not. Hilary Duff does seem a little unbothered by it. I mean, she's literally like, today she posted a teaser for a new song. So I'm assuming we're getting another single from her in the next week or so. But like, she's clearly just like going about her life normally. And she's like, yep, I'm like, that's my life. Like, she's A-okay. But it's just like, why is this happening? Like, why did Ashley Tisdale wake up and choose violence with this article? It's just very interesting. But I have been dying to like chat with you guys about this, because as soon as the cut article came out, I was like, this is gonna stir up some shit. Like, she knows exactly what she's doing. And if she doesn't, she's naive and is like lying, because like, it was clearly pointed. But I'm so tapped in. Like I said, this is giving Real Housewives. It is so juicy to me. And I'm like, I'm curious what else we're going to know about it. And like, seeing all the people who are like digging things up about them now and like finding old things. And like, I wonder if like anyone else is going to speak up who was like previously friends with Ashley, because like she's been in the industry for years and like she obviously has a lot of connections. So I'm wondering if like there's any other people who have like had bad experience with Ashley in the past and like they're going to come speak forward about it, or like if other moms in the group, like I you know what I really need? I need one of the moms who like isn't public facing to like release a statement or something and like make it known that like they are also giving their 2 cents, and like I need their take on it. And like, of course I would love Meghan, I would love Hilary, I would love Mandy to like come out and make a statement about it and like acknowledge it. But like, if one of the moms who aren't public facing and like it doesn't, like their names aren't getting thrown around in the press, so like it doesn't matter to them, you know, like it's not affecting their image, you know, per se, like it's not tied to their name. If one of them comes out with a statement, Oh my God. I would die. I need to hear from these women. And like I said, get the cameras up. Give us Real Housewives of Disney Channel. Like, this is what the people want. This is what I want to see. Give us what we want. I'm tapped in. I am so in it. So I will keep you guys updated on this story as we go. If there's any updates by this weekend, I'll put it in the newsletter. If you're not subscribed, go to twopoptohandle.substack.com. Otherwise, we will chat about it next week if there is anything to chat about, because I'm subscribed. Like, I'm in it. I'm in it with this story. I love it. That being said, we have made it to our second to last segment of the show, our TV recap. And speaking of Real Housewives, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City finale happened last night, and it was fucking crazy, but not crazy in the way that the last few seasons were. Like, it was crazy in the, like, what the fuck am I watching? What was that play? What was that Greek tragedy that Angie put on with them and like that medium they met or whatever? Like, it was so bizarre. And like, I've been saying it kind of throughout the season where like, I'm enjoying the season, but it was a weird season. It was a very strange season. The way that they all were interacting with each other and the way that they were so focused on like the weirdest little things. And this was just like the cherry on top of a seriously insane season. And I'm just going to say it. I love Meredith Marks. Do not get me wrong, but she is either a master manipulator and can lie like no other, or the other women are all in some sort of psychosis and like fully just like making things up. And like, I hate to say it, but like, I don't think 6 other women or however many housewives there are, I don't think all of those other women are like seeing all of this happening and like making it up if they can all agree on stories. Like, I feel bad that Meredith is like, it appears that she is like going through something really serious and detrimental, and like she's just not acknowledging it. She's just like fully glazing over and like not allowing it to affect her or like come out or whatever. And it's like kind of scary. And again, like, if she isn't going through anything and these women are just like digging for something, like kudos to her for like fully being fine and like living rent free in these women's minds. But like, I just don't think that's the case. Like, something's weird. Like, something's very strange. Even like the whole thing with this episode of the finale where Bronwyn brings up the fact that like Meredith asked her to go into her room and like asked her about the lunch. And now Meredith is denying ever asking her about the lunch. It's just very strange to me. Like, I don't know. It's a weird thing. Cause even like with the plane and now this, and they all have all of these concerns about her, but when they bring them up, like she's not willing to listen, which is, it's a jarring thing. Like, that's not a safe way to handle things as a person. But like, you have this group of women who are willing to try to help you and like figure out what's going on, and she's just not willing to listen. So either the women are crazy or she is. I mean, they're all fucking crazy. Let's be real. Like, they're all fucking insane. But like, I don't know. It's very sad to watch. Especially, like I said, just like considering like these women are also concerned, like the whole lunch conversation between Whitney, Mary, and Bronwyn, like Mary was like reduced to tears almost over this. Like, she was so concerned about her friend, and like there's clearly, it's just not being reciprocated in the sense of like Meredith doesn't give a fuck what people think about her. She's just like, no, I'm fine. Leave me alone. Stay out of my business. But like, there's clearly some business to be discussed, and like she doesn't want to talk about it, which is her own prerogative. But it just, I don't know, it's sad. And it's almost giving like how Heather only wants to talk about things on camera. Meredith seems to only want to talk about things off camera. Like, it's just a really weird dynamic with honestly all the women. Speaking of the weird dynamics, like Lisa and Angie just trying to like rekindle their friendship while they're sitting in Greece after this play when they like spent the entire season hating each other. It's like, they're not going to get over it that easily. Like, that's not how this works. You guys have done, honestly, I would say they've done irreversible damage to each other and their families and the things that have been said. And like, there's no going back from there. And like, in the trailer for the reunion, you can literally see Angie and Lisa screaming at each other again. So it's like clearly fake, and they're all just like putting it on for the cameras, which goes back to my point of like, none of these women are friends off the show. Maybe Whitney and Heather, I'll give them that. I do think Whitney and Heather, because of their like family tie, their cousins, whatever, I forget whatever it was, but like I do see them as like a duo off camera. Fine. The rest of the women, I don't think any of them are truly friends, and like the definition of like actual friends who are like there for each other. You can call, I think they all once were all friends or like had friends groups and things, but like, I don't think there's one true friendship in that group of women. And it's sad to see. They've all been burned so many times by each other or past cast members. And like, now we're just like watching all of this unfold, and it's it's sad to watch. I don't know. Like I said, I did really enjoy this season. I thought it was entertaining, but here's the thing. They have had such incredible finales and seasons over the last few years, with the Jen Shah season of her getting arrested, with the whole Monica Garcia thing, with the receipts proof timeline, reality Von Tease. Like, they have had such huge earth-shattering moments that, like, any other season's not going to fall short, because obviously, like, you got to give them credit where credit due. They make incredible TV, but like, they have had some crazy moments that, like, now they almost have to like reach for a better moment. I'm still obviously tuned in. Like, I do enjoy watching it. It's entertaining, but it's very interesting just seeing like the way they shifted this finale, and like I didn't think they were going to end the season in Greece. Like, that even felt weird to me. Like, you did 3 episodes on this vacation and that's the finale. It all seemed very strange. I don't know. That being said, on the topic of things that are strange, did you guys watch The Cult of a Housewife, the docuseries on TLC about Mary Cosby's church? Because that was fucking crazy. I watched all 3 episodes. Holy shit. Like, I knew Mary's church was weird. Like, I knew there were some things going on that like were definitely shady with it. And it was clear that like when she left the show and came back, the church was no longer a topic of conversation, which is why this entire season that just happened, I was so interested in the fact that like she was willing to talk about the church again. And like, it seemed like she was almost like edging the church into the show again. It was like trying to see how people would respond to it, which I don't know how people are responding to it, honestly. But after watching this docuseries, I'm like, absolutely not. I don't want to, honestly, I don't want to see the church. I don't even know if I want to see Mary after all of this. Like, it was just wild. Like, I didn't watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City while all of this was happening with Mary in the public eye, where like they were exposing it as a cult. Like, I started during season 4 watching it live. Yeah, I started during season 4. So this was season 2 that she left and she came back on season 4. But I went back and watched everything. So this wasn't happening in real time as I was watching it. But watching this documentary made me realize like the levels in which it was such a big moment. And like, people were really like, what the fuck is going on with Mary? She's clearly a cult leader. And like, yeah, let's call it what it is. She has a fucking cult. Her church, it's a cult. It's wild. The whole thing about her like mocking the girl who died, that was heartbreaking. And I remember watching that scene and being like, this is like a weird conversation to be having with somebody just like in their kitchen and like having no remorse over it. Then like watching the docuseries and knowing like the context within like it being a member of the church and his daughter and like all of that stuff, I was like, how is she not more remorseful and like more upset by this if it's a member of your church and like somebody you were close with? It's just really sinister. Also, her husband, that man is evil. And I've always gotten really weird vibes from him. I mean, the fact that like she is married to him and he's literally her step grandfather. I don't care if it was in the will. I don't care what her grandma wanted. Like, it's fucking weird no matter how many ways you spin it. But seeing him in this context, just like, it just put the nail in the coffin. And I was like, get this man off my screen. I never want to see him again. Also just like seeing the way that Mary was like fully removed from the church before her grandmother passed. And then when her grandma passed, she was like so involved. Like, that 0 to 100 extremeness was not normal. And like seeing the way her mother reacted and how Mary said it's jealousy and her mom wants to be her and wants the church. Like, I also think that's something that they need to unpack in therapy and not in reality TV and on, TLC or Bravo. But like, I'm not a therapist and I can't prescribe them anything, so that's not my problem. But it was just really, really wild to watch like all of this unfold and like get a better idea of like what was happening in the public eye when Mary did leave Salt Lake City, because it was really weird, especially like she wasn't on the reunion. And I didn't realize like the level in which of like trouble she was in while this was happening, like in real time. It was very crazy. Even if you haven't watched Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and you wanted to like watch a crazy cult docuseries, watch The Cult of a Real Housewife on TLC. It is crazy. And they bring you up to speed on like what was happening in the show and like how it kind of paralleled Bravo and real life. Really good docuseries. I believe it's all on YouTube for free, and there's like 40-minute episodes. There's only 3 episodes. Very quick watch, very crazy watch, and very like, it was disturbing. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was a very disturbing watch, and it definitely gave me like a new lease on how I feel about Mary Cosby, and I'm not sure what that is yet. I need to see her on the reunion, and I want to see like how she reacts to this going forward. And like, I don't know. It's something weird. I knew things were weird with Mary and her church, and I've said that on the show before, but like this was fucking weird. I don't know. But with all of that being said, this is a very exciting episode for a multitude of reasons. It's the first of the new year, the Ashley Tisdale drama, new Robin music, the Gov Ball lineup, it's award season, on and on and on. There's so much to chat about like why this is such an exciting episode. However, what I'm most excited about is the fact that RuPaul's Drag Race season 18 is officially out, and we are back with weekly Drag Race recaps. You guys know this is my favorite show to recap for you guys on the show every single week, and I am so happy that it is back. We are so back, and it's so exciting because like this is my first season of Drag Race where I'm working at MTV, and obviously Drag Race airs on MTV, so it just feels extra special. And like I've been such a fan of the show for so many years, so now to like I don't touch the show at all at MTV, being completely and like I've said before, I know Juicy Love Dion from the internet as well. So like I'm familiar with the Dion family outside of the show. So I was very excited for Athena to come on. I love this entrance look. I thought it was fabulous. I thought it was not too over the top, but like shows what she can do. And I thought it was a very solid entrance look for her. Next up, we had Kenya Pleaser. I loved this color on her. I thought it looked gorgeous. I thought it fit her very well. And I'm just really excited for her on this season. I feel like she's going to be a lot of fun. Next up, we had Nini Coco. And I really love this. I love the reveal. I thought the rainbow was fun. It was constructed really cool. And I just thought it was like a fun way to like make your mark as you entered the workroom. Next up, we had Jane Don't. And I really like this look a lot. I thought the red hair looked really good on her. I love like the red, and she's more of like a fair skin, girl. She has like lighter skin. So like the red and the black that she was wearing really like just like made it pop more. I thought it was a really cool look, really into it. And we'll get into it later, but like spoiler, I loved her runway, and I'm very excited to see her on this season. The next queen to enter the workroom was Discord Adams. It was very busy. There was a lot of patterns. Her hair was cheated. She had like, I believe she had like houndstooth on something. She had plaid. She had like props and everything. It was very busy, a lot going on, but part of me loved it. Like there is some beauty in like knowing how to go over the top and do too much without it seeming like gaudy or like whatever. And I feel like this was like a really solid way of like showing her taste level, if that makes sense. I love this look. I thought it was great. Next up, we had Mia Starr. Didn't love this, but I didn't hate it. The all denim look. It was fine. I love denim. I'm literally wearing a denim jacket right now. Like I love an all denim look, and this looked good on her, but it wasn't like, didn't like wow me, if that makes sense. Next up, we had Didi Fuego, our NYC girl. This was simple, but I really like the orange and the pink. I thought the colors looked nice together. I thought it was cool, the little like spiky thing she had and the way that it moved. Again, very simple, but I will always root for a New York queen. And I've seen Didi at $3 bill before. So, it just feels more close to home. So of course, I'm going to applaud Didi Fuego. Well, you guys will see later, but for now, we'll applaud Didi Fuego. Next up was Juicy Love Dion, and she looked fabulous. I love her. I think she's so cute, and like she is such a performer that I just like am waiting to see her just like really put her talent to the test. But I thought this was a great entrance look, very cute, not too over the top, but like enough to like make a mark. And I just think her makeup is really, really cool. She has like a very unique makeup style. I love this. I thought it was great. Next up, we had Vita Von Teese Star. This was fabulous. When you're gonna do a print and do it bold, you have to commit, and she committed. I thought this was great, and she really she was like, I am Vita, hear me roar, as she walked into the workroom. I think she's going to be one to watch this season. I'm really excited. The next queen to enter the workroom was Briar Brush, and I really like this look. It was like a little Andy Warhol moment with like the white boots. I thought it was really cute. It was simple, but effective. It really didn't like go over the top, but there was like a loud enough message sent with it there. It was fab. I really like this. Next up, we had Mandy Mango. I didn't love this look. I understand that she was like referencing Pokemon, and she is a nurse, and she was dressed up as like the nurse in the Pokemon universe, but I didn't love it. But it was fine. It was okay. I get the reference, but not my favorite look of the entrances. Next up, we had Sierra Mist, and there was a lot going on with this outfit. Like there was a lot. There was layers. There was pumpkins coming off her side, and like the big overdrawn lips. It was really cool and really well done, and really gave us an idea of who she is. But there was a lot going on, which isn't a bad thing, isn't a great thing. Like, it was kind of similar to Vito, where like she walked in and she was like, I am Sierra Mist, hear me roar. But like, it was like, whoa, like there's a lot happening on this. But I did like it. I thought it was really well constructed. Thought it was good. And it gave us a very clear idea of who she is. And then second to last, we had Darlene Mitchell. I mean, sure, it was well constructed. It was a good outfit. Did I love it? No, but like, it was a good outfit. Does that make sense? Like, it wasn't my personal choice, like my style, but like, it was good. It was well constructed. It gave us an idea who she was. We know she's like a Midwest diva, and like now we know what to expect from Darlene Mitchell. It was good. I liked it, but it wasn't like my vibe, if that makes sense. And then finally we had Mikey Meeks walk into the workroom. I really liked this color on her. I didn't love the look per se, but I thought the purple was really nice on her. But I'm very excited for her on this season. I feel like she's going to be a lot of fun. Her confessionals and her looks, I'm very excited to see her on the rest of this season. Now the queens are pretty much instantly met with a mini challenge, and it was a lot of fun. They were like going into that room and they had all like the hot men in masks around them screaming, and they had to do like a scream queen. Whoever had the best scream image wins. It was very reminiscent of like old school Drag Race, you know, when they like season 5, I believe it was. Yeah, season 5, and they were like doing the dunk tank of the water and had to take the photos and like that vibe. It just very much gave that like old school mini challenge Drag Race vibe, and I loved it. It felt very nostalgic in that sense. And it was just like RuPaul making these girls do stupid shit on day 1 just to make him laugh, and like that is what Drag Race is at its core, you know? Then we find out that Kenya Pleaser is the winner of the first mini challenge, which I can agree with. I think she had the best scream moment in the room. I mean, I didn't see all the photos. I wasn't there to judge, but what I saw, I liked what I saw, and I'll take it. And then we find out that RuPaul is wasting no time with these girls, and they have a design challenge on episode 1, which like, you know what? Put them to the test, pedal to the metal, let's fucking go. And this design challenge, they are challenged to use things of Drag Race past. So like, they have Monet Exchange's sponges, Lala Ree's paper bags, you know, just like old nods to Drag Race, which I think is fun. It's a nice way to like usher in a new season of Queens and like pay homage to Queens of Drag Race past. And now when we're in the workroom watching the girls construct their outfits, there's a little bit of drama. We see Juicy Love Dion. She can't like thread her needle, and people are like, why is her grandmother Athena not helping her? And like, I have my own opinions on queens going on Drag Race and don't know how to sew. And like, I love Juicy Love Dion, but I will not reserve my opinions on like, if you're going on RuPaul's Drag Race on season 18, you should know how to thread a needle in a sewing machine. You should know how to sew. Like, you should know how to do all these things. But like, they're never going to learn. So like, I need to let go of that gripe that I have. But a lot of people were like kind of like pressed over the fact that Athena wasn't helping her figure out how to like get the thread on. And like, Athena even says in her confessional, she's like, yeah, I hear Juicy needs help, but like, I got to make my outfit and do my own thing. And like, on one hand, I'm like, yeah, like absolutely, like get yours done. Like you can't like put out your own fire to keep somebody else warm, you know, but also like, it will take you 5 seconds to go over and like thread your granddaughter's needle. Like, go do it, you know, like just go put the thread in. So I can see both sides there, but like at the end of the day, it's like they're on a competition show. Like, yeah, maybe they might be drag family, but like there's $200,000 on the line. Like, yeah, figure out how to thread your needle yourself, girl. I gotta make my own outfit. But the real elephant in the room with Athena is the fact that she is the voice behind the Lindsay Lohan Mykonos video. This is how you party in Mykonos, baby. Like that iconic video of Lindsay dancing, and you hear that voice off camera. You don't know who it is. It's Athena Dion. Like that is insane. And like, you guys know, anytime Lindsay Lohan is mentioned anywhere, but like this is major. Like this is huge information for pop culture, and like being able to put a face to that voice of this iconic video of the it girl of all it girls, it felt like Christmas morning. It was the greatest gift I could have asked for from Drag Race season 18. It was very special. So I have a special place in my heart now for Athena just based on that video. Moving into the runways for the first episode of the show, Ciara comes out. This was fine. I didn't love it. She did like that blue and yellow look. It wasn't bad per se, but it wasn't great. It was fine. It was an okay look. I have seen much worse on the runway. I have seen much better. Very, very safe look. Next up was Athena. This was cute. Nothing groundbreaking, but I liked it. It was very like girly, you know, with the blonde hair and the bow and like the really low neckline. It was a really cute outfit. I did really like it, but I wasn't like blown away by it. Next up we had Kenya, which love her. Did not love this look. It was very simple. There wasn't really much to it, and she knew that. You know, she was going into it not really confident with her look and everything, and that's fine. It happens. But what I will say is she sold that garment like it was a couture custom designed outfit for her, and it simply was the furthest thing from that. Like, it was not a great look, but she sold it. And for that, she gets brownie points. Next up, we had Nini Coco that I absolutely loved. It was really well constructed. I love that orange look. I thought it was really, just a really great garment. And the fact that she made it out of gift bags after the catastrophe that was Lala Ree on her season with her gift bags, with like the worst runway to ever walk down RuPaul Drag Race runway in history. Like, this was impressive to see her take gift bags and make this insane look out of it. It was like a redemption arc for gift bags everywhere. Next up, we had Jane Don't. Incredible. This was great. Not a single no. I thought it was so impressive. Using, I think it was a shower curtain and making that and being able to like fit it to your body so well. And like, it was such a it wasn't an easy pattern to work with, you know? So it was really impressive to see her put something together like that. I loved it. Next up, we had Discord Adams. This was very like Fashion Week runway. It was very well constructed, really, really cool. I loved it. But the walk scene around the world, what was she doing? Why was she walking like that? Like, if you don't know how to have a runway walk, that is fine. But like, just walk normal then. Like, don't, like, I don't know what she was doing, but it was not... It looked like she had like bricks tied to her back. It was very strange. But what I will say about her is like, I hated how bitter she was about being safe. You know, like, I understand you want to win, especially the first episode. You really want to like make your mark with the judges, but like being a sore loser and like being like throwing a fit, basically like asking Cardi B in the workroom, like what she thought about her outfit and like whatever, like it just seemed very sore losery to me and it put a bad taste in my mouth. But I will say I did really like the outfit. Next up, we had Mia Starr. There was a lot going on with this outfit, but I liked it. It was like a lot to look at, but it fit her personality. Like, she sold it very well, so I did enjoy it. There was a lot, like it was like the mixed match boots and like there was like the checkerboard and the black and white and the like a lot going on, but overall, I liked it. She did a good job for, you know, for first week for Design Challenge. Next up, we had Didi Fuego. Girl, what are you wearing? What was this? Don't do New York like this. Like, you were the only girl representing New York on this season. What was this tin foil Jiffy Pop outfit you were wearing? It was not good. It was not cute. And I'm going to say something that might be a little harsh. She should have been in the bottom for this look. It wasn't great. I did not like this at all. I'm so sorry because I really want to root for her because she's a New York queen and like, come on, we got to support our hometowns. But like, you got to step it up, mama. Next up was Juicy Love Dion. I didn't think this outfit was terrible. Was it boring? Incredibly. There was nothing exciting about it. The sleeves were cool, but like, all right, great. Whatever. Very, very simple outfit, but there were definitely worse on the runway. Like, I don't know. I didn't think it deserved to be a bottom look, but I definitely don't think it was anywhere near the top. I think this was a very low safe, if anything, but I'm not on the judges panel, so what do I know? Next up, we had Vita Von T Star, and this is how you fucking do it. Are you fucking kidding me? Constructing a dress out of umbrellas should not be humanly possible. Like, I don't even understand how that works, but she not only did it, she did it so well. And like putting black and white stripes together in like different patterns is not an easy thing to do and not a flattering thing to do. And it looked so good on her. Like, she really showed up and did her big one with this outfit. I absolutely loved it. Next up with Briar Blush, and in contrast to the last outfit, I absolutely hated this. I thought the fabric was just like thrown on her body randomly. I didn't understand the placement of the ruffles. I didn't get the tail. This was not good. I did not like this outfit at all. Another one I did not like at all was Mandy Mango. This was just bad. All around, just bad. I did not like this one bit. The next queen to walk the runway was Darlene, and to quote Michelle Visage, it's fabric. It was nothing crazy. It was a very simple, safe look, and like, that's fine. You got to skate by. You know, there's got to be queens who are safe so they can be queens in the top and the bottom, and Darlene fit that bracket perfectly this week. And then finally we had Mikey Meeks, and I liked this a lot. Didn't blow me away. It wasn't mind-blowing, but I thought it was very well constructed. I liked the contrast of the colors with like that cream dress with like the blue cape. I liked this a lot. Thought it was really cute. I liked it a lot better than her entrance look. But yeah, I liked this a lot. Thought it was a pretty solid runway. There was like some really, really good ones and some really, really bad ones. And I mean, it's the first episode. You know, there's so much more to see from the queens as the season goes on, and we get to see even more of them because nobody goes home this week because why would somebody go home on episode 1? That would be a crazy concept, right? So we find out that the top 3 queens are Jane, Vita, and Nene, which I totally agree with. I think they had the best looks of the night and they were all very well deserving of being in the top. And now the bottom is where I don't agree. They had Kenya, Juicy, and Mandy. I think Dee Dee should have been in the bottom over Juicy. I also could have seen Briar in the bottom. Like, I don't know. I don't think Juicy's was as bad as they said it was. And I'm not just saying that because I'm like biased and I know her off the show. Like, I don't think it was as bad as like Dee Dee's was or Briar's was. Like, I think it was very simple, and it was, the problem with Juicy's was like, it wasn't just safe. It was like off the rack. Like, it was so basic that like anybody could have made that. And like, it's a design challenge, you know, like that's not clearly her strong suit, which is fine, but I don't think she deserved bottom. That being said, we find out that the bottom 2 are Kenya and Mandy. So I'm very happy that like Juicy wasn't at least like in the bottom 2. And then we find out the top 2 are Nina and Vita, which I agree with. But as I said, nobody's going home. So the bottom 2 don't matter this week. The top 2 matter. And the top 2 are lip syncing to Cardi B. And now I'm going to say this with love. If this was traditional Drag Race rules and like the top 2 weren't lip syncing and the bottom 2 lip syncs, I don't know who would have went home. Like, I don't know who would have won the lip sync there, but like Vita would have won this week. Like, don't get me wrong, both looks were incredible, but I just think Vita's outfit was a lot more, there was a lot more to it than Nene's. And like Nene's was incredible. I have nothing bad to say about it, but I do think if they weren't lip syncing against each other and like Ru was just crowning a top of the week, I do think Vita would have won. However, Nene did eat that lip sync. It was incredible. They both did great, but like Nene clearly won in the sense of the lip sync. So it's fine. I'm not like, I don't care who won because everyone's staying. Like, no one's going home, and that's like the point of a lip sync. But I definitely think if it was like typical Drag Race rules or regular week, I think Vita would have won this week. And that's my opinion. That's my opinion. But yeah, so bottom 2, like I said, with Kenya and Mandy, doesn't matter. What I will say, Cardi B, we got to give it up for our new queen of rap. The fact that she like showed up to Drag Race and like there's now text messages coming out from her team being like, I'm going on Drag Race, you guys, and I'm going to bring in my girls with me. She has 2 trans women on her team and she was like, I want them to walk the runway with me and come into the workroom. And like, she was already championing these trans women over a year ago from when she got booked on the show. And just, it couldn't be better timing. Like, Cardi B could not be a guest judge on Drag Race at a better time than like Nicki Minaj shooting herself in the foot and just exposing herself as like a transphobic, evil MAGA piece of shit. And like, we gotta applaud Cardi where credit is due, because like her fully just being so supportive of the drag community, of the trans community, of just the queer and all of these, you know, these minority communities, and being so happy to uplift her trans team members and like give them this platform and this voice. And like the queens were so excited to meet them when they came in. It was just a really fabulous moment. And again, this was filmed so long ago, but this could not have been a better time for this to come out. Like, it just, the timing of it is so incredible. You couldn't plan this better. Like, it was just chef's kiss perfection. And that is Drag Race episode 1. I'm so happy that Drag Race is back. Truly, like, you guys know how much joy I get recapping Drag Race for you guys, and I am so excited to see where this season takes us, but we will have to wait until Friday for that. And with that, we have made it to the final segment of the first episode of the year, our very first Yes and Mess of 2026. This feels like very important. Like I said, this really sets the precedent for the rest of the year. And like, these are some good yeses and messes. I know I picked them, so they're always good to me, but like, these are some good ones. So if you are new here, we end every single episode with a yes and a mess, a yes being something I am loving and a mess being something I am not loving. And we always start things on a high note. And my yes this week, the very first yes of 2026, is the fact that Kesha and Flo Rida performed Right Round for the first time ever together last night. The song came out in 2009. The song is 17 years old, and they finally performed it live together. And like, it's just so nice to see Kesha having these exciting celebratory moments with her old music. Like I was saying, she's celebrating the 15-year anniversary of Animal and Cannibal this year with like the new repress of the vinyl and the new songs coming out. And it just feels like she's healing something inside of her that like she couldn't always be so proud of. And like seeing her perform this with Flo Rida for the first time ever, and like being able to just like find this new joy in her old music that was once so tainted is so exciting. And like, what an iconic fucking song, like an iconic duet, iconic moment of the early 2000s or the 2010 almost, you know, whatever era you want to call 2009, but like just So exciting, so iconic, and I cannot believe that like we are getting Kesha with a dollar sign back. It is just, that is something to celebrate. That is truly like a huge moment in pop culture that like will go down in history. And my mess this week, something I am not loving. I kind of hinted at this earlier, but if there was an award for the person who was able to insert themselves in other people's drama in any situation, it would go to Christy Carlson Romano, and then runner-up would be Annalise Vanderpool. The two of them are always so quick to jump into any drama possible where they can somehow make it about themselves. Specifically, this week, it's all about the Hilary Duff and Ashley Tisdale drama. Christy Carlson Romano makes a post saying like, oh, like watching mom drama from outside of it is so exciting when you're not in it, whatever. And then like tags Lily Marston and Jessie Smiles, who are two podcast hosts. I know them from the YouTube like way back in the day. And like, to my knowledge, they don't really get involved with much drama anymore. I know Jessie used to have some issues with the internet and some old friends, but like I know Lily from like way back in the day, and like Lily is not a drama stirrer kind of person. So like for Christy to get online and like suddenly throw their names into the ring of like this dramatic mom group, and like Christy trying to make this like toxic mom drama about her, it's like, can you just like go away? Please stop posting on the internet. Like I truly cannot stand Christy Carlson Romano. Like I just, she irks me like no other. And then we have Annalise Vanderpool chiming in, and she's like, I was a server for Ashley Tisdale once, and she was this. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Like the two of them really, I understand like wanting to like give your thoughts and opinions, but like the way that Christy and Annalise insert themselves into drama, it's not even pick me. It's like, it's just embarrassing. It's truly mortifying that like grown women just hang up on these things so intensely. Even like last month, Christy Carlson Romano posted an AI photo of her on the set of The Princess Diaries with Julie Andrews. And it's like, she will never let go of the fact that like Anne Hathaway allegedly stole the role from her, which like has been debunked and is not true. It's like, you just didn't get the job and you're bitter about it, and like, get the fuck over it. Like the two of them are just like nightmare fuel. And I hate a bitch who doesn't know how to just like let things happen without having to insert themselves. And they are the most pick me energy, annoying people, honestly, on the internet. And like, I need them to both just like shut the fuck up and go away. With that being said, we have made it to the end of this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this week's episode of Too Pop to Handle, the very first episode of 2026, which is so exciting. If you guys liked what you heard and you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe and give us a big thumbs up. Drop a comment down below. You guys know the drill. There's so many buttons to press. Press them all except dislike and unsubscribe. If you were listening to us as a podcast, make sure you go ahead and leave us a 5-star rating wherever you are listening. It would really help support the show so much, and I would appreciate it oh so much. If you would like some extra moments of the week that were too pop to handle in between podcast episodes, you can always head over to my Substack. I'll have it linked down below, but it is toopoptohandle.substack.com, and you can get my weekly newsletter popping in where I share extra moments of the week that were too pop to handle in between podcast episodes. And if all of that is not enough because you just cannot get enough of Andrew in your life, you can always follow me on my socials, either at Too Pop to Handle or at Andrew Nucatola for my personals across all platforms. And with that, I will catch you guys next week. Bye.